Hi, my name is Maria and welcome to my channel MH Books, and today I'm going to have an attempt at filming the Booktube Newbie Tag. I've tried to film this a couple of times and not been too successful. I think I'm having one of those days where you have brain freeze and you can't answer the simplest question that you could have answered yesterday standing on your head, except I can't stand on my head. That was a strange thing to say. See? So I would love, first of all, I'd love to thank the lovely Charlie Brooke who posted this tag last week and very kindly put the questions below. Her channel is open on my laptop there. I'll be looking at the questions there, and I will be linking a link to her channel and to her tag below as well. You should definitely check her out. She's a lovely person and she's reading some really interesting stuff. The first question, because you might as well crack on with this, is why did you start this channel? And the answer has to obviously be Booktube is a lovely community where you get to talk about books, and I've been driving my work colleagues and friends and family crazy by trying to make them talk to me about books, as a couple of them are interested but all the rest are being nice and kind. So this is where I have been looking at other people talk about books, and I've been commenting on their videos for a year and a half now, and it was about time that I joined the conversation fully. There's also a personal reason that I don't like to see myself on camera, and to do this I have to watch myself on this video, hello me, and I also have to edit myself a little bit, so there's that as well. What are some fun and unique things you bring to YouTube? Look, the only thing anybody brings to YouTube is themselves. There's some very entertaining people out there, there's some very knowledgeable people out there, but all they bring is themselves, and that's all I can bring. I am probably raising the age profile a little bit, and I've seen some booktubers say that I'm not a newbie tag, that they wish there was a little bit older an age profile, so they weren't the only ones. I can't do much about the gender imbalance. I do love watching the men as well as the women. But yeah, so all I can offer is me, so that's why I'm deliberately keeping this video casual, so you see me. What are you most excited for about this new channel? I tried filming about 2 weeks ago. I don't think I couldn't work out how to upload it. So I've learned a lot in 2 weeks. I just realized that, you know, I could do what I wanted to do, is just talk about books. Take part in the community and in the bookish community, because it is a wonderful community, and what more could you want, really? The real life book club's a little bit more difficult because I work long hours, so it's hard for me to get to the meetings. So online is one of the easier places for me to for timing wise. Why do you love reading? Why does anybody love reading? I don't know. Why do people love reading? I should go back and look at this question on all the other newbies channels. I will actually now look at this newbie tag, thinking about this question a bit and seeing what they're answering. I mean, I read for pleasure. I've changed, my reading taste has changed over the years. I started reading literary fiction about 2 years ago, I think. But I've not stopped reading all my genre fiction, and I've loved horror from the beginning. I think, the exception of a couple of newer ones, I've read every Stephen King book there is. So what do I love about reading? I guess I do love story and character. I do love prose now, from the literary fiction I've been reading. I've even started to get a little bit into poetry. Not sure I understand it, but I've gotten into it. So it's like asking me what do I like about eating. I mean, everything. Well, nearly everything. Okay, that's the best I'm going to do on this question. This is why it's taken me a couple of times to film this, because I don't think I have definitive answers for some of these. What book series got you into reading? That would be definitely this one. For long books, or not picture books, would have been Enid Blyton's famous 5, and I think it was a white cover and there's 5 going on an adventure or a hike. I cannot remember which one it was, or even that's if either one of those is the correct title. I know I had George from the TV series on the cover, and I was probably about a month past my 8th birthday, and I realised I could read this whole book that didn't have pictures, no problem whatsoever. And it was our first really, really long book, you know, for an 8-year-old. And it's because of books like that. Like when I was a teenager, I read books like that, which is actually, you know, I think this one is from when I was in my 20s, but I really loved to death books. And yeah, that's the book that I remember that got me into reading. What questions would you ask your favourite booktuber? Most of my favourite booktubers would talk an awful lot about themselves, and that's actually the kind of questions I would like, and they would actually answer them, or they'd answer them in a Q&A when they reached so many subscribers. They're you know, they're really good about doing that. So I wouldn't really have a question. If I have a question, I've asked it and I've answered it. If I know I probably should ask about some of the technical aspects of filming, but I'm practicing learning by doing for this one. So many times in my life I've read how to do something in a book and researched a lot before actually doing it. This time I'm just doing it and learning as I go. So there's hopefully a slight improvement over the last few videos that I've uploaded as I've learned to edit. I mean, the first one wasn't edited at all. I'm also learning just to relax with me on the camera. So why am I talking about that? That's not actually the question, but you know, this is why I filmed this so many times. I keep going off the topic. When did you, what challenges do you think would be for starting a booktube channel? Would it be hardest to overcome? Definitely going to be, I work long hours, I work some weekends because I work in a charity, and that's when volunteers and young people work in a youth charity, when young people are available. And so the biggest challenge is definitely going to be trying to find time so I can film with natural light. I'll probably end up having to film twice at the weekend, but upload one of the videos during the week, because my plan is to upload at least twice a week, so that there's a regular upload schedule. The other challenge might be actually sometimes when I'm really busy in work and finding time to read, because I don't read that quickly. But I keep reminding myself, a couple of people I like to watch don't read quickly either, so that's fine. We're all there, we all enjoy books and reading and talking about them, so that's the most important bit. When did you start reading? That's an interesting question. When I was 6, they put me in a remedial class because they thought I would never learn to read, and to be honest, I already could read. I just had been sick the first couple of years at school, and I never learned to read phonetically. So I can't do phonetics. I can't teach phonetics when I'm helping young kids read. I can't do that. I've never learned it. But I could already read. As it happened, I had jigsaw puzzles and things that had the words underneath the jigsaw pieces. There'd be a cow and there'd be a picture of a cow. Can you see me there? Sorry, your battery went off, so I've just plugged you in. So I'm not sure where that one left off, so I will have to edit this. Woo! Did I edit it? Okay. So I learned to read by doing jigsaw puzzles. Also those books where it was actually LPs at the time, it was vinyl, where they read the record and you read along with things. So I'd already known how to read, but nobody had copped that on quite in school. So I was lucky enough that neighbours of ours wanted to send their kids to private school in Sydney in Australia, and they couldn't find a school that wasn't a Catholic school, so they were sending them to the Catholic school, but they weren't Catholic, so the only way to get their kids into the Catholic school was to send a lovely little Catholic Irish girl. So I got to go to private school with them, and they paid for it. So it was only for about a year, and it was an amazing chance for me because it was smaller class numbers. As I happened to a teacher who was deaf, but she copped on I could read much quicker than any of the teachers obviously had before. They hadn't at all, to be honest. And so within a year of her encouragement, I was reading extremely well, so that by the time I was in primary school, and I would have been 11 or 12, I was reading 2 or 3 years above my age limit. So I would have been reading adult books. I was reading adult books. I actually have never read young adult as a teenager. I've only read it that genre, or if it's not really a genre, but you know, as an adult. I've never read this. I went straight from children's to adult fiction in the library. My mother used to let me borrow some things off her library cards, so that's how I learned to read. So that's when I started reading. There you go, long answer. You see, this is a problem. I keep talking about other options, other side topics are not really the question. What kind of books do you like to read? I put in my Goodreads profile that I read them all except for crime. I don't particularly like reading, even in this one, I would like to read in the battle scenes. It's not crime, sorry. War. Okay, war is a crime. So I don't like battle scenes from this one. So I don't like looking at reading war, or even looking at war movies. So I don't like reading war novels or looking at war movies. So I don't like the battle scenes and fighting. I like to watch rom-com. So I do like a rom-com in the cinema, but I don't like reading rom-com for some reason. So no romantic or purely romantic novels. Now, to be honest, there's exceptions to them, but so other than that, I read everything. I read horror, some sci-fi, fantasy, magical realism, historical fiction, classics. I started reading literary fiction about 2 years ago, and I love it, and basically everything else. And I have a tendency to actually rate most things quite highly. I tend to like most things. I mean, occasionally there's a book I don't like, but that's just an individual book. It's like I like to eat most foods as well. I don't eat brains, and I don't eat something else. I can't remember. Tripe, only because I don't like the look of tripe. Other than that, I eat every other food. So I just think that's just me. So I thank you for your patience in watching this. It's longer than I intended. I can't edit it anymore. I can't stop this anymore. It's just this is what I'm putting out. So thank you for watching. Please do subscribe if you would like to watch my channel. And please do comment if there's something I should have been clearer about. And also tell me what you like to read, and if you've put out one of these tags, because I'd love to watch it. And other than that, thank you for watching, and I hope you're enjoying whatever you're reading. Bye now.